Close to 1 million buildings in southeast Louisiana without power right now, and they could be that way for days or longer. Relief convoys from Houston on their way, including utility workers from Centerpoint, and those guys can be a sight for sore eyes. Michelle Choi caught up with them this morning.
After a brief safety meeting early this morning, dozens of Centerpoint Energy workers rolled out of the Greenspoint Service Center headed for Louisiana. In total, more than 200 of the company's employees and contractors from Houston will help restore power to our neighbors.
We've been through this. We understand what it means to be hit by a hurricane and the impact to our families, to our service. It's awful, and so we feel for the customers out there, and we want to do whatever we can to help them get them back on their feet.
Overnight, nearly 1 million people were left in the dark. Entergy Louisiana says Ida's strong winds caused 8 of their transmission lines to fail. The company warning customers it could take days, possibly weeks, to restore power. Meanwhile, Centerpoint crews say they'll be doing what they can to turn the lights back on.
These guys are professionals. They restore service on a daily basis here at home and on our own grid. But this part is such a bigger scale situation, and it's what they are trained to do.
The crews will be working 16-hour shifts for at least the next 2 weeks. Their message to Louisianans facing a tough road ahead:
our prayers are with you and help is on the way.
Michelle Choi, KHOU 11 News.
Thank you, Michelle. And our team coverage continues with Zach Tawatara. He is live in New Orleans right now. And Zach, you rode out the storm last night. That is one rough ride. How are things looking this afternoon?
Sherman, it was a rough ride. I was hunkering down here at our WWL sister station here. They were so nice to accommodate us, but it was really wild outside. And I want you to take a look at this block behind me. I don't want to move too much because, like you said, cell service is out everywhere and we have a signal here. It was pitch black down this entire street, Rampart Street, last night. And we honestly couldn't even get our car out of the garage because the electricity was gone and it wouldn't lift the gate there. So it progressed so quickly last night, and then with it stalling over all these different areas, especially here in New Orleans, it was just a really crazy sight. And there was so much video of all these roofs collapsing. We're talking down trees, power lines. It was just incredibly unsafe, and the pictures were incredible and scary at the exact same time. So riding it out here, we were very lucky that we were in this building, which was very secure. But I'm telling you, you could hear the roof shaking, and it honestly felt like it was going to come off.
Yeah, that is some unnerving and scary stuff. All right, be safe. Thank you, Zach. We know many of you want to help our neighbors. If you do, head to khou.com. We've got resources there. We also have information scrolling along the bottom of your screen throughout the show. All right, the big question now, of course, where is Ida? And Tim Pandages, is Ida still a tropical storm at this point?
It still is a tropical storm, but it has weakened significantly since obviously it made landfall 24 hours ago, right about now as a Category 4 powerhouse. Winds at 40 miles per hour now, still has that broad overall structure there. The rain and the wind has lifted out of Louisiana, but now it's impacting portions of Mississippi. And as we go forward, it's going to track farther to the north and eventually to the north and east, bringing a pretty pronounced inland rainfall threat and flooding threat up through the Appalachians and into the mid-Atlantic by the end of this week. But the storm took a long time to degenerate and weaken. Cheetah's here with a little bit more on just how long that was. Cheetah?
What's interesting about Hurricane Ida, after it made landfall, it stayed on land as a hurricane for 16 hours. 8 of those hours, it was at a Category 3 or higher as a major hurricane on land. The reason why, you have to think of these as marsh swamplands, and it's just the same as ocean water giving this fuel. It didn't weaken until late last night and actually becoming a tropical storm at 4 a.m. this morning. I'll send it back to you.